Hi, I'm Michelle Ferguson of Two Brothers Blankets, and welcome to my series, Left-Handed Crochet Basics. I'm a left-handed crocheter, and I know how hard it can be to find really good resources for us lefties, which is why I've created this series, the Left-Handed Crochet Basics blog series. I'm going to teach you all the things you need to know, from how to crochet left-handed to how to read a crochet pattern, and so much more. I'm so glad you've joined me, and I hope you find this helpful. Today we are going to learn how to work in the round. I have my 8 5mm crochet hook again and my ball of yarn. Working in the round is working in a circle, basically. This is used often for hats, for bags, all kinds of projects where you work in a circle instead of back and forth in rows. So first I'm going to teach you how to do the magic circle. Instead of starting your first loop like you typically would, you're going to do what is called a magic circle. It creates a tight circle so that there's no gaps or anything. So people like to use it often when working in the round. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off like you would your first knot, your slip knot. And I wrap it around twice. I take my hook and I pull it under the first wrap. And then I take my thumb and I pinch together and I grab it, pull my fingers out and I grab it. So then I take it into my other hand. You're going to be working into that circle. This is what it looks like right now. I'm going to pinch my fingers as if this were the loop that I'm working in. And I'm going to chain 2. So you've created a circle right here, see? Most of the time you're going to start off working into that circle, that magic circle, when you're working in the round, if a magic circle is required. So let's do 10 double crochet. I'm going to yarn over 1, 2, see I'm working around, see I'm going, instead of going under a chain or a stitch, I'm just going under that circle and working around it. So what is that? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. So this is what it looks like. It's more of a half circle, right? And it's kind of sticking out. What you'll do is you're going to take this end piece that is not connected to anything, and you're going to pull. Pull it as tight as you can. Ooh, So that's going to create a very tiny little circle, right? So then we are going to join by slip stitching into the first stitch. So not the chain. Chain does not count. See the chain here? The first stitch. So look for that V. Stick your hook in between, underneath the two parts of the V, both loops. Yarn over, pull up a loop. Remember, grab that first yarn, or that first loop, and pull it through the second loop. And that is how you have joined your round. Occasionally you will not join. You will put a stitch marker there and you will just keep working. But for this tutorial, we are going to join. Now, as a lefty, I'm going to show you, we're going to talk about right side and wrong side, or back side. Let me show you. Let's do another row or round. 1, 2. To increase, we're going to work 2 double crochet into each stitch. And that's going to make our circle bigger. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay, we've done 20. Now this string you can just leave out of the way. You'll weave it in at the end. So now we need to join to the first stitch by slip stitching. So insert your hook under both loops, yarn over, pull up a loop, grab that first loop and pull it up under the second loop. And that joins your yarn. Now, I'm gonna tell you about a mistake that I used to make when I first learned how to crochet. I started out making hats. That's one of the first things I learned how to crochet, working in the round, making hats. Sometimes your patterns will indicate which rows or rounds are the right side of your work, because sometimes you'll turn even rounds and work on the other side. But if you're working on the same side each time and you're not doing any turning when you're working in the round, it is important to remember what side is your right side. For us lefties, the circle tends to move in this way. The side that we are working on, so say we're going to do row 3 and I am double crocheting into the first stitch. This is the right side of my work. The double crochet, the side that is facing me as I work is my right side, right? But as lefties, it tends to go in on this side, right? So for the longest, I had my hats all backwards and I used the right side as the front of the hat. So this is the right side instead, where the way you're facing as you're working is the right side of your work. Okay? So when you're making a hat or something in the round, make sure you push it outwards instead so that the right side of your stitches are showing on the outside of the work, if it's a hat or whatever it is. Okay, so let's increase some more. To get to 30 stitches, to make it bigger, we're going to work 2 in the first stitch and 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next stitch and 1 in the next. So we'll have 30 stitches this time. So I've done 3, 4, 5, and then 1 in the next one. And if you're following a pattern, it will tell you this. And tell you how much to increase to get to the right size that you need. 1, 2, and then 1 in the next. Whoops. See how it's pushing inward? We got to make sure to keep it outward so that our right side shows and not the wrong side. Okay, we're on our last 2 stitches. And then we are going to join with a slip stitch to the first stitch. And now we have 3 rounds. See how it likes to go that way? We gotta make sure it goes this way. All right, let's count. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. All right, so we have increased by 3 rows, and see how it gets, the circle is getting bigger. That is what you will do if you're following a pattern or a tutorial for a hat or a basket or anything in a circle. You will increase until it tells you not to increase anymore. And then, so let's do a round without increasing. Let's chain 2 and just work 1 double crochet in each stitch around. What happens is it will stop increasing, so it'll stop getting wider, and then it'll start to get longer. So if you're making a hat, once you get to the right diameter, you will, and it tells you to stop increasing, you'll work 1 stitch in each, and it'll start adding length to your hat in the same size. Like it won't get bigger. All right, 1 stitch. So remember, the side of the stitch that is facing you as you work it is the right side. Occasionally when turning your work, so when you're turning, each row is going to be facing the opposite way. So usually the pattern will indicate which side would be considered the right side or the outside facing side, the side that needs to face the outside. If it doesn't indicate it, then it's usually doesn't matter. And it can be either way, but that's only when turning. If you're working in the round and you're not turning at all, the side that is of the stitch that's facing you as you work is the right side. All right, let's join with a slip stitch. All right, and see, it looks like a little hat. It will begin to be that same size, but it'll add length as you add rows. And that's how you work in the round. Very simple, as long as you can master that magic circle. You can also, sometimes it will tell you, let me show you. Let's pull it out. Frogging from the last video, if you watched on the video on mistakes, you can just pull it out very easily. So sometimes instead of a magic circle, you will be told to chain a certain number. So like chain 3 or 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then join with a slip stitch to the first chain. And that also creates a circle that you could chain 2 and work into that circle. So that's another option if you have not mastered the magic circle, or you don't like the magic circle. You can always chain, slip stitch, and create a circle that way. But the hole is going to be a little bit bigger and it's not going to be adjustable in any way. But it's another option. So there you have it. That's how you work in the round. Thanks for watching.